protester, Wade Kelley.
Did you already go do it?
Yeah.
Thank you, Joey Cisneros. Hello, and welcome to my TV show on the YouTube network with a potential audience of over 2 billion people. Coming to you live from the 3rd Street Promenade in Santa Monica, where I am peacefully protesting and advocating for the homeless and running for Santa Monica City Council in 2026. That's right. My name is Wade Kelley. I'm running for Santa Monica City Council to stand up for human rights. That's right. Right here in Santa Monica, we can make a difference. We don't have to wait. We don't have to wait for a progressive Democratic person to be in the White House. We can make changes right here in Santa Monica, California. And we can make changes right here in California. We don't have to wait for Trump to be out of office to show that progressive government is different than conservative Republican government. And that's why we have to stop criminalizing poverty and homelessness right here in Santa Monica. Let's show that progressive democratic government helps lift people out of poverty instead of punishing people for being poor and criminalizing people for being homeless. We can do better, Santa Monica. And that's why I'm running for Santa Monica City Council, to stand up for human rights. We can do better. When will we see that day of peace? When will that day of peace appear? We'll keep looking for the day when the clouds all roll away, but we better work on peace on earth right here. When will we see that day of peace? When will that day of peace arrive? We'll keep looking for it to fall out of the sky, but we better work on peace on earth to help our children survive. Let's try that verse again. When will we see that day of peace? When will that day of peace arrive? We'll keep waiting by and by for it to fall out of the sky, but we better work on peace on earth to help our children survive. Peace, whoa, peace. Peace, let's stand up and work for peace. When will we see that day of peace? When will that day of peace appear? We'll keep looking for nirvana, but I think we just might wanna work on peace on earth down here. Peace, whoa, peace. Peace, and let's stand up and work for peace. When will we see that day of peace? When will that day of peace appear? We can ask the universe to get rid of this war curse, but we better work on peace on earth. We'll keep waiting by and by for it to fall out of the sky, but we better work on peace on earth. We'll keep looking for the day when the clouds all roll away, but we better work on peace on earth. We better work on peace on earth. We better work on peace on earth down here. That's right, Mike. How you doing? That's right. We got to keep working on peace right here where we are. We got to keep working to lift people up. Keep working towards equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all. Because we haven't gotten there yet. That's right. We got to keep working towards it because we haven't gotten there yet. We need to work for a day when everybody can have the basics here in this richest, most powerful country in the world. In this fourth largest economy of the whole wide world, California. In this very wealthy city of Santa Monica, we can make sure that people don't have to sleep on the streets or be arrested for sleeping on the streets. That's even worse. I mean, it's terrible that that we don't have enough housing for these people to have a decent place to live. But it's even worse that Santa Monica is arresting people for being poor and homeless. That's the terrible part. We need to keep working towards a better day for everybody. Thank you, sir. I'll be sharing that with the homeless. Thank you. Peace. You have a good night. That's right. We got to keep working towards a better day. Any donations I am given will not go towards my candidacy, towards my campaign. Any donations I am given here on the promenade or anywhere else will be handed out to the homeless, because I'm not spending 1 cent on I spent some of my own money to file the papers and things like that. But I will not be spending a lot of money on my campaign. I will be giving any donations I get to the homeless human beings, because they're having a rough time of it, especially if you're having all of your stuff taken from you and told that you have to put all of your belongings in a 60-gallon bag because you're poor and you don't deserve to have anything. And then they are arrested and run through the process, and they come out on the other end. Sometimes they don't even have the stuff they went in with. But it's not helping people to arrest them and just push them down the road. That's not helping these homeless human beings. We need to stand up for their rights and make sure that everybody can have a decent place to live here in this very wealthy city of Santa Monica. And first of all, we have to stop criminalizing poverty and homelessness. People say to me, well, you're not really serious. You don't care. You're not thinking about the budget. You know, I am thinking about the budget. If you have one of the largest budgets per capita of any city in Southern California, and you are arresting poor people because you're not spending enough money on homeless services or homeless shelters or safe spaces for the homeless, that's just cruel and inhumane. And we need to stand up for the rights of these people. See the people living in the street, ain't got no money, ain't much to eat, not too proud to take your crust of bread, just looking for some place to lay their weary heads. What's the problem that brought them here? The story's long and it isn't very clear. So many roads lead to the street, just looking for some place to lay their tired feet. I ain't saying they ain't done wrong. I ain't saying didn't help to bring it on. I'm just saying there must be somewhere they belong, and they're looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. All these homeless people living in a ditch with all these empty buildings and tax cuts for the rich. I ain't saying they have to, I ain't saying you have to give, but everybody has got a right to live, and they're just looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. That's right. And we could help these people. We could help these people have a decent place to live, every one of them. You know, Santa Monica right now is just trying to push all the poor people down the road. They want to make it somebody else's problem. These poor people, these homeless people don't belong in Santa Monica. They all come from somewhere else. That's what everybody tells me. They say, all these homeless people, they all come from somewhere else. It's like Trump. It's like Trump talking about undocumented immigrants. They're all from somewhere else and we have to get rid of them. A lot of these people have been here for a long time. A lot of these undocumented immigrants here in the United States have been here for a long time and used for their labor and not been given their rights, not been given a pathway to citizenship. And a lot of these people in Santa Monica, a lot of these homeless people have been here for a long time and have not been given a pathway to housing, given a pathway to being treated as a human being here in Santa Monica. We need to stand up for everybody's rights. We have to stop pushing poor people down the road and say, they're sending us their worst. They're sending us their terrible people from all over the world. That's what a lot of Santa Monicans say about the homeless. All these homeless people are sent from all over the world. They're the worst people, and we can't do anything for them. No, a lot of your people here in Santa Monica, a lot of your rich people are from other places as well. But you only want to be responsible for your rich people here in Santa Monica, and that's not the way it should work. That's not the way it should work in a democracy. That's not the way it should work in a democratic republic as we have here in the United States of America. We need to stand up for everybody's rights, whether you're poor and homeless or whether you're a billionaire. Everybody has the same rights, and we need to speak up for everybody's rights. Ain't that right, Wakil? I think you believe that. We need to make sure that everybody can have the basics in this richest, most powerful country in the world. A decent place to live, food to eat, health care, and a good public education. And for those who have a job, those jobs should pay a living wage. And sure, even though more and more of the jobs are going to be going to artificial intelligence and robots over the years, we need to make sure that we find a way for human beings to be active and find a way for human beings to have a basic income, even if more and more of our jobs are going to be going to robots and artificial intelligence. We need to make sure that we're lifting people up instead of criminalizing poverty and homelessness. We can do better. And we can make sure that everybody has a decent place to live in this country. And right here in Santa Monica, we can make sure a lot of these homeless people have a decent place to live. There are way too many empty buildings here in Santa Monica and too many people criminalizing poverty and homelessness, and that's the wrong direction. All these homeless people living in a ditch with all these empty buildings and tax cuts for the rich. I ain't saying you have to give, but everybody has got a right to live, and they're just looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. You can sweep them out your doorway, tear down their tents. Gonna keep on coming if you keep on raising rents. I ain't saying you have to do good, but why don't you try letting homeless people move in to your neighborhood, Santa Monica? Looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. That's right, Santa Monica. You can build safe spaces and shelters and more affordable housing. You've done a terrible job about building any affordable housing. So we need to help lift people up out of poverty instead of criminalizing poverty and homelessness. Let's be part of the solution instead of adding to the injustice that has been happening in this country. stand up for human rights. You can sweep them out your doorway, tear down their tents. Gonna keep on coming if you keep on raising rents. I ain't saying you have to do good, but why don't you try letting homeless people move in to your neighborhood, Santa Monica? Looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. Don't need your swimming pool, don't need your king-size bed. Just looking for somewhere to lay their weary head. Hey, hey!
Another gun song.
Hey, how you doing, Joaquin? What's new?
I'm alive and well. You still got a heartbeat.
And do you have a place to live right now?
Still living.
Okay,
They
that's...
give me 3 day notice if you want to leave no fishing because they said because I threw them plants that was biting me. Was it? They don't follow the rules and regulations, and I got snookered, and I got magged and didn't bit. I have to go plants and I got arrested. So they gave me a 3 day notice, but I went to the lawyer, and the lawyer said, no, we got you. I went to the Santa Monica Housing Authority and said, no, they're wrong. Because you got to remember, sometimes if you get housed and people don't like you, they'll do everything they can to hurt you.
So you're getting some help to stay into your place?
So far.
Okay. You let me know. That's good. That's good. I'm glad you're reaching out to those places.
Someone that said they know you, as a matter of fact.
Well, that's wonderful.
T.
Huh?
His name is T.
T. Martin.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
He's one of the analysts in charge of housing services here in Santa Monica. So yeah, keep going to him. Tell him to do his job and help you stay in housing, because that's one of the things that the Measure GS Resident Oversight Committee is doing. We have a new program. The city has a new program called Renter's Aid, and they're supposed to be helping people stay in their housing if they're facing eviction or if they're being harassed or things like that. And hopefully they will help you out, Joaquin. Ronald Joaquin Williams, and I hope they do, because we need to help everybody stay in housing. We don't want this homeless crisis to get worse and worse as it is. It's already still getting worse. It's still getting worse all the time. Everybody what?
Everybody. Remember what you said to me once? Democratic programming, because of how I live and where I'm from. I'm not a Democrat.
That's fine. You don't have to be a Democrat you don't have to be a Democrat to enjoy democratic programs like Social Security, because Social Security was a program that if he put that program, well, at the time when Franklin Delano Roosevelt put together the Social
Security. John B. Jones built this place, though.
What?
John B. Jones was the founder of Santa Monica.
I'm talking about Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Okay. That's great. I'm glad you want to celebrate some of those people.
Celebrate how the form of this community was made.
I'm going back to celebrate.
All humanity. Look at this.
Anyway, we have differences in the way we think.
The American flag.
That's right. And that's what we're working towards. We're going to continue to work towards equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all. And that's why I celebrate Franklin Delano Roosevelt. At the time he put together the Social Security program, they called him a communist, as they are calling some of these Democratic progressives today. They're calling them communists. And we need to celebrate some of these programs that were put together by Franklin Delano Roosevelt and other people. Because it's all about peace and love. That's what I'm here for. It's about peace. It's about love. It's about the only thing my heart beats thinking of. It's about love. It's about peace. It's about a little bit of love and peace at least. Because when the peace and love are gone, you know we must be moving on. It's about peace. It's about
He
love.
won't listen to you. He likes his microphone. He just keeps talking over you.
See,
He wants to invite all the homeless people. You do drugs, no problem, anything. He's nuts, this guy. That's why he didn't win for city council, thank God.
and that's why I'm running again to stand up for human rights. You see, Joaquin, some people don't think homeless people deserve a place to live. Some people don't think homeless people deserve a place to live, and that I'll speak out against that every day. If you don't think homeless people deserve a place to live while rich people are having space races, then I'm sorry. What we need to do right here in California is raise taxes on the billionaires. Get behind that Billionaire Tax Act. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. That's right, that's a 5% wealth tax on the billionaires here in California. We don't have to wait for Trump to be out of office to raise taxes on billionaires right here in California. We can raise a 5% wealth tax on all of the billionaires here in California over 5 years. And that will raise hundreds of billions, that's right, hundreds of billions of dollars to help people, the poor people, make sure that they have health care, good quality health care, and other food programs and some educational services. So we can do that right here in California. We need to all get behind Prop 40 right here in California. Everybody tell your leaders and all your public servants to get behind Prop 40. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. That's right. Let's all get behind that Billionaire Tax Act right here in California. You know, these guys were talking and they were saying it's not about Democratic programs or Republican programs. And I will listen to that for a little bit. But I'm sorry, there have been no Republican programs to help lift people out of poverty since Abraham Lincoln emancipated slavery, ended slavery, abolished slavery. There have been no great Republican programs to help lift people out of poverty since Abraham Lincoln abolished slavery. So we need to celebrate those programs that help lift poor people up. And I'm sorry if all of those programs were put forth by Democratic Congresses and Democratic presidents, then that's the way it is. It was Franklin Delano Roosevelt who started Social Security. And that program I'm on today because I'm old. I'm 67 years old and I rely on Social Security, as do millions and millions of Americans here. And that's a great program that he started in 1935. And we need more programs like that, especially as we are moving into a technological era where more and more of the jobs are going to be going to artificial intelligence and robots. We need to make sure that human beings can have the basics. And if somebody is saying to me, we don't need to pay for homeless people to have a place to live, while we're having rich people having space races, are you kidding me? Are you wanting me to listen to that kind of stupidity? Okay, I won't call it stupidity. That kind of greed, because that's what it is. You're being greedy for rich people, and the rich people don't need any help. The rich people are doing better than ever. Every week in this country, the rich people are breaking records on Wall Street. It's the poor people who are suffering. So anybody who says we don't need to pay for housing for the homeless or to lift people out of poverty, sell it somewhere down the road, because I'll be shouting that down. I'll be shouting that down every time I hear it. We need to stand up for human rights. We need to build affordable housing. We need to make sure that everybody has a job that pays a living wage. We need to make sure that everybody has health care and a good public education and a decent place to live. These are the basics. That's something that Franklin Delano Roosevelt talked about in 1944 in his second Bill of Rights speech. That was 1944, and we haven't achieved those goals today here in the United States. We need to keep working to lift people up out of poverty, and we need to raise taxes on the rich. Raise taxes on the rich. Raise taxes on the rich. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. Let's show that California can raise taxes on the billionaires, that we don't have to wait for Trump to be out of office. Let's show that progressive government can make a difference in people's lives. Oh, I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather sit around in my underwear than screw the poor and pollute the air. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather be a bum than a trillionaire. I'd rather live outside in the open air than try to keep sick people from getting health care. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire or trillionaire. That's right, we have a trillionaire now in this country. We have one person who owns more wealth than the bottom 50% of our population. That is cruel. That is, it's unbelievable that Congress has abdicated its authority and let somebody have $1 trillion without raising taxes on that person until they no longer are a trillionaire. That's right, we need our Congress to do their job and raise taxes on the rich to make sure that everybody can have the basics, instead of one man having more wealth than the bottom 50% of our population. That is cruel. That is inhumane. For one person to have so much money and power in this country, that's not the way a democracy is supposed to work. Thank you, peace. We can do better. Let's stand up and speak out. Oh, I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather sit around in my underwear than screw the poor and pollute the air. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather be a bum than a trillionaire. I'd rather walk around with greasy hair than sell guns and weapons everywhere. I'd rather be a bum than a trillionaire. Things are gonna get better down the road. You better believe it. Things are gonna get better down the road for everybody. You have a beautiful night. Peace and love. Oh, mama, I don't want to make you cry. Oh, mama, rich or poor, we're all gonna die. Oh, mama, I don't want to make you sad. Oh, mama, but being poor just ain't that bad. No, it ain't. It ain't a crime. Not yet. Well, it is. Here in Santa Monica, it's a crime to be poor and homeless. They'll find a way to get you in jail. First, they'll start with citations. I don't know, and then they'll put you in jail. I don't know. What are these people thinking? Do they think they're helping anybody, really? They're just making their lives harder. And what we need to do, raise taxes on the rich, raise taxes on the rich, raise taxes on the rich, raise taxes on the rich. That's right, we need to make sure everybody can have affordable housing. That means, affordable means if you're not making any money, then you don't have to pay money to have a place to live. If you're making some money, you pay a little bit of money for a place to live. But if you're making $1 trillion, you need to be paying a lot of money in taxes to make sure that poor human beings can survive in this country. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather live outside in the open air than see homeless people everywhere. I'd rather be a bum than a trillionaire. Oh, mama, I don't want to make you sad. Oh, mama, but being poor just ain't that bad. No, it ain't. Oh, mama, I don't want to make you cry. Oh, mama, rich or poor, we're all going to say goodbye someday. Hopefully not tonight. Let's put it off a little while if we can help it. Now, I don't want you to think that I think all billionaires are evil.
They're evil.
That was okay, but we just need to raise taxes on them. Then they won't be so evil, right? They're not all bloodsuckers, and they're not all, we just need our Congress to do their job and to raise taxes on those people. That's what we need to do. And since we can't do that while Trump's in office nationally, we can do it right here in California. Get behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in California. That's going to be on the ballot this fall. Prop 40. Prop 40, they're calling it. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in California. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather live outside in the open air than see homeless people everywhere. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather walk around with greasy hair than sell guns and weapons everywhere. I'd rather be a bum than a trillionaire. How you doing tonight? Good to see you. Getting by all right? People treating you okay? All right, good to hear. Peace. Oh, mama, I don't want to make you sad. Oh, mama, but being poor just ain't that bad. No, it ain't. Oh, mama, I don't want to make you cry. Oh, mama, rich or poor, we're all gonna die someday. Hopefully not tonight. Let's put it off a little while if we can help it. So let's all get behind that Billionaire Tax Act and keep working towards a better day for everybody. Because the billionaires and that trillionaire, they're doing just fine. But here in California, we need to make sure that our leaders here in California stand behind this Billionaire Tax Act, Prop 40, because we need to show that progressive government can make a difference in people's lives right here in California. We need to make sure that we are helping lift people up. That's why we need our leaders to get behind this Prop 40, Billionaire Tax Act right here in California. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather live outside in the open air than see homeless people everywhere. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather be a bum than a trillionaire. I'd rather walk around with greasy hair than see guns and weapons everywhere. I'd rather be a bum than a trillionaire. I'd rather be a bum than a trillionaire. I'd rather walk around in the Bear than see homeless people everywhere. I'd rather be a bum than a trillionaire. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. Woo-hoo! And I'll keep on working at it. That's right. I'm going to try to make very little money the rest of my life, because I don't think people should have to struggle every day to get by in this richest, most powerful country in the world. And I'm already 67 years old, so I'm on this thing called Social Security, and I have a little bitty pension there that will keep me alive as long as I don't have to pay rent anywhere. But we need to make sure that poor people and old people can have a decent place to live as they go age out. You know, we need to make sure that Social Security is growing enough to make sure that people can have a decent place to live while they get old. The elderly are the fastest growing part of the homeless population here in California, and we need to make sure that we are lifting people out of poverty instead of criminalizing poverty and homelessness. We can do better, California. We got to show that we believe that human rights is important right here in California, that progressive democratic government can be different than conservative Republican government, that we can help lift people up out of poverty. While we keep standing up for everybody's rights to believe how they want, and I'm saying, hey, you got a right to be a Trumpster if you want. That's your right. I'm going to speak out against Trump every move he makes against poor people and every advantage he takes of the poor and the homeless and American citizens and undocumented immigrants. Because, you know, those people have been used for their labor for generations, and they haven't been given a right to a pathway to citizenship. You know, it didn't happen overnight that we have 20 million undocumented people in this country. For generations, these employers and farmers and people, they said to the authorities, look the other way because I need some workers to come in and do work. And I need undocumented workers that I can pay a little bit. And then when the work's done, I want to push them back out of the country. That's what they've been doing. It's nothing new in this country. Ever since the beginning of this country, there have been people who want to take advantage of poor people's labor without giving poor people any rights. That's how this country started off. And that's why they're doing this very same thing today. They're trying to push out all these people that don't have documentation, that haven't been given a pathway to citizenship. They've been used for their labor, but not been given a pathway to citizenship because these employers don't want these people to have rights. They don't want these poor workers to be part of our democracy. And we need to stand up for their right to be part of this democracy. They've been brought here and used for their labor for generations, and we need to stand up for the right of every human being to have the basics here in this richest, most powerful country in the world, and to continue to have a democracy or continue to work towards a democracy that is vibrant and gives everyone a voice. I know we're not there right now, and I know we need to keep working at it. Some people say, no, just get those people out of the country because they came here illegally. Well, you know, a lot of people came here, didn't go through the pathways, and a lot of people did come through, the American Indians were here since the beginning of this country, and they didn't have any rights nationally until 1924. So that was 150 years after this country was created that the Native Americans were given a right to vote nationally in this country. So you can see there are people that went through the process and stood in line. They were here in line before us, and they still couldn't have the rights of the United States citizen until 1924. So, I know I said that inarticulately. Sometimes I will say things inarticulately, and I'll keep working on it. But I want to speak out for human rights. De la Sierra Moreno, cielito lindo, vienen bajando. Un par de ojitos negros, cielito lindo, de contrabando. Es el lunar que tiene cielito lindo junto a la boca. No se lo des a nadie, cielito lindo, que a mí me toca. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. Ay, 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 cantar no llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. Ay, 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 ay. Cantar no llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed, to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. Ay, 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 cantar no llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. Cielito lindo, los corazones. That's right, we got to keep working towards a better day for everybody. And we got to work for the rights of those people that are here in Santa Monica that need the basics. And they're just trying to deport these poor people from wherever they came from. They want to deport them outside of Santa Monica. These people don't belong here. They send us their worst from all over the country, from all over the world, and Santa Monica can't be responsible for all of these people. So we need to ship them out. We need to deport them out of Santa Monica. We can't pay for shelter beds or services for these people. Instead, we will arrest these homeless human beings for being poor and homeless. And that is the wrong direction for government to take. Government needs to stand up for human rights. And that's why I'm running for Santa Monica City Council. That's why I'm running for Santa Monica City Council, to stand up for human rights right here in Santa Monica. And I hope you all will get behind me and speak out for human rights right here in Santa Monica. Because there are too many of our leaders blaming the poor for being poor and the homeless for being homeless, while they are creating that very situation. Too many of our leaders say, don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor at all. They'll pull the chair beneath your seat and mock you when you fall. They'll tell you that you're crazy and you're on the drugs. They'll say you're mostly lazy and you're filled with bugs. So don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Just be rich. That's what they say, you know. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and sick. They'll put you in the hospital and spit you out real quick. They'll say you need to rest more and change the way you eat, but they ain't got no medicine to get you off of the streets. So don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Just live in a mansion. You gotta get a mansion, you know. How the rich folks wanna help you if they could. So they'll take your tent and your bags and stuff and move them to another neighborhood. A little farther, a little farther, a little farther down the road would be good. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't live in your car. They'll find a way to ticket you no matter where you are. They'll say you're near a schoolyard or near a city park. They'll make you move your car all day and give you tickets while you're sleeping in the dark. So don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Hey, don't be poor and homeless. Just live on a yacht. You gotta get a yacht, you know. You gotta get a yacht for your yacht if you got a yacht, you know what I mean? All the rich folks wanna help you if they can. So they'll start a race to outer space to help their fellow man. We are going to build affordable housing up on Mars. Don't be poor and homeless. And the moon. Don't be poor at all. They'll pull the chair beneath your seat and mock you when you fall. They'll tell you that you're crazy and you're on the drugs. They'll say you're mostly lazy and you're filled with all kinds of bugs. So don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Just be rich. Don't be poor and homeless. Just be rich. That's right, homeless people. Just be rich. We need to send all the homeless to a Tony Robbins motivational seminar. That's right. I can make you all rich overnight. And that'll end the housing crisis, the homelessness crisis. That's all we need. Instead, I think we probably need to build some affordable housing, have safe spaces for the homeless. Instead of criminalizing homelessness and poverty, we need to be lifting people out of poverty and making life better for human beings. We live in the richest, most powerful country in the whole wide world. There is no reason for poor people to be sleeping in the streets. And there's no reason at all to be criminalizing poor people sleeping in the streets. That's a shame. That is inhumane. That's what Justice Sotomayor said about the Grants Pass versus Johnson ruling that said now cities and agencies can criminalize poverty, criminalize homelessness. That's what she said. To criminalize somebody for sleeping outdoors when they don't have a place to sleep is cruel and inhumane and goes against the 8th Amendment of our Constitution. And still these cities go along with Grants Pass versus Johnson and punish people for sleeping outdoors when they don't have any place to go. When they're just sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor. I was sleeping in the park the other day, ain't got no home, no place to stay. Cop gave me a ticket, I asked him what for. Sleeping outdoor while being poor. Sleeping outdoor while being poor. I was just sleeping outdoor while being poor. Everybody said you must have done something more. I was just sleeping outdoor while being poor. 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 Oh, the rich man, he can sleep on the grass. But the poor folks better hurry, or they'll haul in your ass for sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor. Everybody said you must have done something more. I was just sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor. All the other inmates said, hey, what you in for? I said, sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor. The judge, he said to me, son, you got more rights walking around with a gun than sleeping outdoor while being poor, 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 sleeping outdoor while being poor. Everybody said you must have done something more. I was just sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor. I'm a rich man, he can sleep on the grass. Hey, Coco. Hey, Coco, you got a place to stay tonight? Are they going to clean you up? Are they going to make sure all your circuits are working? Are they going to make sure you stay nice and dry? Because there are homeless human beings sleeping in the streets. Tell your owners, Coco. Tell your owners that they should make sure that human beings can have a decent place to live as we move further and further into this technological era, where more and more of the jobs will be going to robots and artificial intelligentsia. You know, I really have nothing against these robots doing jobs that people don't want to do. We certainly don't need robots to make movies and make music and make art. There are a lot of human beings that enjoy making art and even music, if that's what you call what I do. But we need to make sure that human beings can survive this new technological era, and we need to be lifting people up. And that's why we need to build more affordable housing right now for these people that are being criminalized for sleeping in the streets. We have people being put in jail right here in Santa Monica. Last year, 75% of all the arrests in Santa Monica were homeless human beings. Less than 1% of the population arrested 75% of the time. That is cruel and inhumane. And we need to change that. We need to make things better. That's why I'm running for Santa Monica City Council, to speak out for human rights. I handed in my papers today, and good. How are you, Ali?
This lady was supporting you. She likes your show.
Thank you very much. What's your name?
Thank you, Victoria. Wonderful.
Victoria. Thank you. Would you like to say hello, Ali? Would you? Well, you're in. Victoria, where are you from, Victoria?
I'm from Ukraine.
Victoria from Ukraine. I'm sorry that you guys are going through a rough time there. That's rough. Well, how long have you been here?
Oh, almost 5 years.
Almost 5 years. You still have family there, and that's hard. So, what do you have? What do you say about the United States?
How do I say it in one word? It's way too big of a country.
It's way too big of a country. Well, you don't have to say it all in one word, but
It's very different. It's a wonderful country. It has its own things to work on and its own things to be inspired.
that's great. Well, yes, and we need to keep working to lift people up out of poverty. We haven't gotten there yet. We're supposed to be showing the rest of the world that freedom and equal rights is something we can all work towards. You know, that place where we all have different beliefs and different thoughts, that we can respect that, and that everybody can still have rights. And that's hard to achieve with such a diverse population of so many different beliefs and races and ethnicities and religions and all sorts of things. But we have to keep working at it. And that's why we need to show the rest of the world that we can make sure that everybody can have the basics. We're the richest, most powerful country in the world. We don't have to wait on anything. But here in California, we're the fourth largest economy, and we can show that progressive democratic government can make a difference in people's lives.
Well, wonderful use of your artistic power voice, the way you do it here, and it's very inspiring to see how you and people who believe in that, because we moved with believe, we're democracy because we believe in it, and enough people believe in it, and we sustain it. So it's good to see. You do have this challenge. It's wonderful to see how many different cultures here. It's a big melting pot. It's very different. It was unusual for me because I come from this very old one culture, and I come here and suddenly it's all together, and at the same time I have to work on choosing my routine, choosing what I believe in, and
sometimes that can
how
be
people work together here, but it's very challenging. It's definitely
that's great.
something ridiculous.
So you feel like it's encouraging to what's going on in Ukraine, or do you think Ukraine's moving in a good direction after it gets? Hopefully, it'll be out of this war sometime soon.
I believe in that, and we're all working on it. And yeah, it comes in low and highs, but we do have to work on it.
Well, I sure hope that war comes to an end, and I hope not too many of your friends and family suffer. It's just a terrible situation. I wish I knew. Okay, Putin's the bad guy. We're told that, and we believe that, and hopefully, but I don't know why the rest of Europe hasn't stopped it already. We only get so much information here. You know, it's difficult, but still they're having wars and people are being bombed all the time.
That's true. It feels a little isolated at times, but it also helps to come out and see the support, and see people who care. Curious.
We got to keep working towards peace, and I hope that ends soon. Thank you.
Thank you for your support. I appreciate it. It makes my day so much better.
Thanks very much. I appreciate it.
And thank you for putting out your position about.
And that's why I'm running for
housing.
That's why I'm running for Santa Monica City Council. I'm running to stand up for human rights because we need to be showing the rest of the world. You don't criminalize poverty and homelessness. That ain't the way to do it. There's too many people that are suffering homelessness and suffering poverty, and we already have the largest prison population in the whole world. We have way too many people in prison, and if you're just arresting homeless people, putting them through the process, making them have a mark on their record because they were sleeping outdoor while being poor, that's the wrong way to go, Santa Monica, and that's the wrong way to go, California. And that's why, we need to show that that the United States can stand up for democracy and freedom instead of just standing with the rich and the powerful. I don't know if there's a problem with that over in Ukraine when you're not in wartime, but
We have our own. It's a little different, but we have our own things to work on. But not like here.
Well, what a pleasure to meet you. Thank you very much, Victoria. And I will see you. I hope. How long are you here in the United States? Well, I hope to see you again.
I'll see you again.
All right. I'll be back. Usually I'm here Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and I'm going to be out here more because I am going to, and you can look me up right there. You can look me up on YouTube. I'm live streaming on YouTube right now.
Well, my support and respect. Doing a great job.
What?
My support and respect.
So support and respect, and I really appreciate that. Thank you very much,
Thank
Victoria. Peace and love. Have a great night. That's right. We got to keep working towards a better day for everybody. We have to show the rest of the world that we haven't given up on standing up for equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all. Because there are people struggling all around the world trying to find a form of government where people can have rights even if they're not rich. And we need to move away from monarchies. You know, we have a president who celebrates monarchies, and we're not trying to go in that direction. We're not trying to go in the direction of the United Arab Emirates, where they have 80% of their workers from outside of their country, and they don't have any rights, the workers that are in their country. We don't want to be like that. We want to have more people join our democracy, more people, especially all the people that are here already, find a pathway to citizenship and be able to enjoy the same rights as everybody else. And that's true of homeless people as well. We need to stand up and say, listen, you have the same rights as anybody else in this country. If you're homeless and you're poor, you have the same rights as the richest person in the whole wide world. But that's not the way it is right here in Santa Monica. Because if a rich man was sleeping in the park at night, they're not going to arrest him. But if a poor man, a homeless man, is sleeping in our public park, they're going to give him a citation. Then they're going to arrest him. And that is not the way to do it. We need to stand up for human rights. Did you want to say something, Joey?
To you, one of my friends from the Sunday church is watching you. Her name's Abby, if you want to say hi.
Hi, Abby. Thank you very much. One of Joey's friends from church. That's great. And this is probably a good time for me to say hello to my Uncle Otis Lee. He's my half-uncle because my granddaddy had a family. He remarried after my grandmother died. So I've got aunts and uncles that are younger than me. And so my Uncle Otis Lee asked me to speak about my granddaddy Otis S. Smith, Otis Smallwood Smith of Bristol, Virginia. And he was a great man, and he enjoyed Franklin Delano Roosevelt. I remember a story about him, a story about my grandparents. When my mom was a little girl, my grandparents bought a new first washing machine. And my mom came home and I guess Franklin Delano Roosevelt had died. And my grandparents were crying because Franklin Delano Roosevelt lifted up a lot of poor people and helped a lot of union workers. And my granddaddy Otis Smith, Otis Smallwood Smith, they called him Doc. He was a preacher, but he was also he worked on the railroad. And he was a union worker. And Franklin Delano Roosevelt helped lift unions up and helped make sure that people could have a living wage in this country. He did a lot of great programs. Anyway, so my grandparents were there crying over Franklin Delano Roosevelt's death, and my mom thought it was because the new washing machine wasn't working right. She didn't understand. She was still young. But and it's interesting to see generation to generation how different people that grew up in religious families, how they change, and how we have a right here in the United States of America to believe however we will. And many generations of different religious families, they change, they reform, they become less conservative, some of them become more orthodox, and it's fine. We all have a right to figure out our own religion in our time, and a lot of us have to have to break away from what our parents believed. But I celebrate that we are all here in the United States. How you doing? Good to see you, Lisa. And Kevin? Oh, good to see you. Peace. Thank you. I just handed in my papers today at my signatures to get on the ballot here in Santa Monica. So you'll see me on the ballot in November, so I hope you vote for me because I'm standing up for human rights right here in Santa Monica. Thank you, peace. Thank you. I'm registered Democrat, but this is a nonpartisan office. But I do think we need progressive Democrats who want to help lift people out of poverty instead of people that want to criminalize poverty and homelessness. So I think that's a pretty progressive idea to build affordable housing for the poor. I don't think you're going to find any conservative Republicans that want to spend money on building subsidized housing. That doesn't seem to be important to conservative Republicans. Anyway. Oh, that'd be fine. But here in California, we on the ballot in November, we're going to have a billionaire tax act, Prop 40. Get behind Prop 40 because that's going to raise hundreds of billions of dollars off of the billionaires here in California. Yeah, we want to raise taxes on the billionaires. But are you a billionaire, my friend? If you're a billionaire, your taxes need to get raised because we have poor people sleeping in the streets. So as long as we have poor people sleeping in the streets, well, yeah, see, now, if everybody could be a billionaire tomorrow, then I might be for billionaires. But until then, we've got to raise taxes on the billionaires. Prop 40, yes, on Prop 40. That's right. Thank you. Peace. Good to see you, Kevin. Good to see you, Lisa. Anyway, back to my granddaddy Smith. He was a preacher, and he was a Free Will Baptist preacher, and I have brothers that are in ministry, and that's wonderful that everybody here in the United States has a right to believe as they will, and we don't have to kowtow to any certain belief. We don't have to bow down to anybody else's idea of what things should be. I can have my own idea of what's important in this world, and as long as I'm not breaking the law, and as long as I'm not committing violence or hate crimes against anybody else, I get to celebrate my beliefs. And everybody gets to have their own beliefs, and you can change those beliefs every day if you want here in the United States of America. Because Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or of the right of people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. And that's what I'm doing here tonight. I'm telling our government right here in Santa Monica, you have to do a better job of standing up for human rights. You have to do a better job of standing up for the poor and those in need, those that are homeless. Because right now you are criminalizing poverty and homelessness, and that is wrong. And I'll tell everybody that is just the wrong direction. If you are criminalizing poverty and homelessness, whatever else you're doing in government doesn't matter, because you have a bad government when you are criminalizing poverty and homelessness. And that's what I'm out here. That's what I'm preaching about out here. And we keep searching, keep figuring out your own journey, your own path, your own beliefs. Keep exploring them, and that's your right. Farther along, we'll know all about it. Farther along, we'll understand why. Cheer up, my brothers, walk in the sunshine. We'll understand it all by and by. Farther along, we'll know all about it. Farther along, we'll understand why. Cheer up, my brothers and sisters, and walk in the sunshine. Cheer up, my brothers and sisters, and walk in the sunshine. We'll understand it all by and by. That's an old hymn, gospel, we used to sing. Anyway, love to my Uncle Otis Lee and to my Aunt Vanessa. I hope you're gonna do great. Sending love to you and Aunt Renee and Aunt Denise and all my family, all of my friends and family, but right now, especially, I just talked with my uncle today and he asked me to say a little word about my granddaddy. So I might as well sing this song that I wrote for my mom while I'm there. Because my granddaddy Otis Smith, he said to my mom when she got married, he said, "Law, honey, marriage, sometimes it's sweet potato pie, sometimes it's root hog or die. Natally, natally, ain't nothing in this world you need to see. Don't find you some wild boy for you to follow. Just make yourself to home here in the holler. Natally, natally, ain't nothing in this world you need to see. Don't find you some wild boy for you to holler and follow. Make yourself to home here in the holler. In the green hills of Virginia, among church folks and kin, you grew up wading in the creek and playing hide and seek and building rock houses for your paper dollies and singing Rock of Ages, cleft for me. Let me hide myself in thee. Natally, natally, followed her young man from sea to shining sea. She found her some wild boy for her to follow and make herself to home there in the holler. In the California sun, the journey just begun in the struggle to survive and keep 5 boys alive. No. In the California sun, the journey just begun with 3 young boys in tow and a wild young husband, Joe. Sometimes she'd grab him by the collar. Sometimes she'd just scream and holler. Hard times and rough roads ahead. She remembered what her daddy said. "Now, honey, sometimes it's sweet potato pie. Sometimes it's root hog or die. Natally, natally, ain't nothing in this world you need to see. Don't find you some wild boy for you to follow. Just make yourself to home here in the holler." In the 70s by the bay, the years just rocked away in the struggle to survive and keep 5 boys alive. She learned how to stretch a dollar, and they sang Rock of Ages, cleft for me. Let me hide myself in thee. Natally, natally, Nadine, Nadine had to pull up stakes and move her family. Alabama for a bit, sweet home Virginia didn't fit. Detroit was mostly gray and pain. Minnesota was okay, but the snow never went away. When it finally came to the thaw, they moved down to Arkansas. Joe and Nada on their own, the boys were up and grown. Sometimes she'd grab him by the collar, say, honey, thank you for taking me from the holler. Natalie, Natalie, ain't nothing in this world you need to see. Don't find you some wild boy for you to follow. Just make yourself to home here in the holler. Natalie, Natalie, Natalie. I'll keep working on that song, but that was for my mom, and she passed away a few years ago, about 1.5 now. Anyway, it's good to remember. It's good to remember old times and keep working towards a better day for everyone today. Keep working towards equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all. Because we haven't gotten there yet. Don't let anybody tell you everything's just fine, everybody's doing just fine. No. The rich are doing better than ever, and the poor are doing pretty poor right now. And we can do a lot better for these people. We can help lift people out of poverty and make sure that everybody has the basics in this richest, most powerful country in the world. Because what the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's, just too little love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. We don't need another mountain. There are mountains and hillsides enough to climb. There are oceans and rivers enough to cross, enough to last till the end of time. Oh, what the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's, just too little love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. We don't need another meadow. There are cornfields and wheat fields enough to grow. There are sunbeams and moonbeams enough to shine. So listen, Lord, if you want to know. Oh, what the world needs now is love, sweet love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. What the world needs now is love. That's right. We got to spread that love around. We've done a very good job of being kind to the greedy in this country. We have to do a better job of spreading the love around to the needy. Because when you're criminalizing poverty, you know, you're not really showing the love that well. When you're criminalizing poverty, you might not be trying to help those people. You might just be trying to punish them. Because that's what criminalizing things, it does. It punishes people for doing things. And if you're punishing somebody for just trying to sleep, that's cruel and inhumane, and we need to speak out against it. That's why I'm glad that I handed in my papers today, my signatures, to get on the ballot here in Santa Monica for the Santa Monica City Council. And I hope that everybody here in Santa Monica who believes in standing up for human rights will speak out, come out and get involved and tell your friends, Wade Kelley wants to stand up for human rights right here in Santa Monica. And he is for ending the criminalization of homelessness. That's number one. He is for making sure that homeless people have a safe place to go to so they won't be arrested for sleeping. He is for building affordable housing and building shelters and safe spaces until we build our way out of this housing crisis, this homelessness crisis. I hope you will tell your friends to get involved, because so far I seem to be the only candidate who would propose to build any affordable housing on that Santa Monica airport property. I seem to be the only one in this debate that we had for the Santa Monica Democratic Club, the only candidate who would say we have to end criminalizing sleeping in parks. We have to end criminalizing poverty. Now, if somebody's doing something wrong, if somebody's committing violence or stealing, that's a different story. But if somebody is just digging through the public garbage can to get something to eat, or sitting on a curb, or sleeping in the park, or sleeping on the beach, you don't need to arrest those people, not if you don't have any place for them to go that is safe. Find a safe space, create a safe space on the beach. Create safe spaces in parking lots for people to pitch tents, or build prefabricated housing units, which Seattle has done and other places have worked with. But don't criminalize people for sleeping outdoor when they don't have any safe spaces to go to. There are too many other options. They used to use some of these parking structures here. They used to use the upper decks of these parking structures at night to have homeless human beings have a place to sleep. That's fine, that's an option. There are too many other options besides criminalizing homelessness. I know I'm stepping over myself, and I'm kind of bumbling around a little bit. In the twilight glow I see blue eyes crying in the rain. When we said goodnight and parted, and knew we'd never meet again. Love is like a dying ember, only memories remain. Through the ages I'll remember blue eyes crying in the rain. Someday we will meet up yonder again. In the land that knows no poverty, blue eyes crying in the rain. Someday we will meet up yonder. We'll stroll hand in hand again. In the land that knows no poverty, blue eyes crying in the rain. I just want to stop and thank you, baby. I just want to stop, thank you, baby. How sweet it is to be loved by you. How sweet it is to be loved by you. And rain. Let me stop and thank you, baby. I just want to stop and thank you, baby. How sweet it is to be loved by you. How sweet it is to be loved by you. Go to sleep at night, wondering where would I be without you in my life. Everything to me was just a ball. Everything I did, it seems I've done it all before. You brighten up for me all of my days. Love so sweet in so many ways. I just want to stop and thank you, baby. I just want to stop and thank you, baby. How sweet it is to be loved by you. How sweet it is to be loved by you. Needed someone, there you were. Needed someone to understand my ups and downs, there you were. With sweet love and devotion, sweetly touching my emotions. I just want to stop and thank you, baby. I just want to stop and thank you, baby. How sweet it is to be loved by you. How sweet it is to be loved by you. Go to sleep at night, wondering where would I be without you in my life. Everything to me was just a bore. Everything I did seems I've done it all before. You brighten up for me all of my days. Love so sweet in so many ways. I want to stop and thank you, baby. I just want to stop and thank you, baby. How sweet it is to be loved by you. How sweet it is to be loved by you. How sweet it is to be loved by you. How sweet it is to be loved by you. Loved by you. Woo! That's right. We got to celebrate. At the same time, we're working towards a better day. Keep working towards equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all. And get out and have a good time, too. Excuse me if I don't take it seriously. I thought there was a party going on. And there was dancing and singing and ringing the bells and lovers rolling around on the lawn. But then I woke up, and what did I see? A bunch of sad sack faces all staring at me, saying, get to work, boy, ain't nothing for free. Hey, where's my party going on? Excuse me if I don't take it seriously. I thought there was a party right around here. And there was jumping and bumping and banging guitars and people drinking loud of beer. But then I came to, and what did I see? A bunch of sad sack faces all staring at me, saying, we ain't having no fun, boy, why should you be? Hey, where's my party going on? Sometimes I think maybe they're alright. I should work all day and sleep all night, but I get so tired right around the morning light. Excuse me if I don't take it seriously. I thought there was a party going on. And there was laughing and acting the fool and everybody going till dawn. But then a bright light flashed, and what did I see? A big old dude with a badge shining his light down on me, saying, the party's over, boy, someplace you want to be. Hey, where's my party going on? Sometimes I think maybe they're alright. I should work all day and sleep all night, but I get so tired right around the morning light. Excuse me if I don't take it seriously. I thought there was a party going on. And there was dancing and singing and ringing the bells and everybody going till dawn. But then I walked through the fog, and what did I see? A big old bony-fingered dude pointing down at me, saying, the party's over, boy, now time to come with me. And where's my party going? I said, the party's over, now time to come with me. Hey, where's my party going on? I said, the party's over, time to come with me. Hey, where's my party going on? That's right. We got to enjoy the party, enjoy the ride while we're working towards a better day for everybody. While we're working towards equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all, housing the homeless, common sense gun laws, good public education. California, there's nothing we should do more important than making sure that people have the basics, making sure that children can have good public education. We are the fourth largest economy of the whole wide world here in California. And no reason for us to not be right at the top of the list of spending on public schooling. Ever since Prop 13, and I sure hope someday we can repeal Prop 13, it has made it easier for rich people to hold on to property, while it's made it harder for poor people to get hold of property. You know, Los Angeles just recently one of the council members, I believe it was, proposed to raise property taxes on nonprofit golf courses in Los Angeles. That would raise hundreds of millions of dollars. See, those people, because of Prop 13, those people have been paying the same taxes that they paid for those golf courses back in 1978 or something like that. And they're paying way less in taxes than a lot of homeowners here in Los Angeles County. And I really think that would be a great idea to raise taxes on these golf courses. I don't know if it's going to go through. I guess there are some people that are connected to City Hall over there in Los Angeles that will keep that from going through. I am amazed at the power the rich people have over these supposedly supposed people that are standing up for human rights and people that are standing up for the working class, because there's no reason to not tax those golf courses more, those fancy golf courses. You know, a golf course doesn't have too many people use it every day, you know, and they use a lot of water, and they have a lot of property set aside for these golf courses. And I'm sure some people want to make a big golf course out of the Santa Monica Airport, and they don't want to use any of it for affordable housing. There's a lot of things we have to work on, and we got to keep moving forward. But don't get discouraged. Like John Lewis said, do not get lost in a sea of despair. Be hopeful, be optimistic. Our struggle is not the struggle of a day, of a week, of a month, or a year. Our struggle is the struggle of a lifetime. Never ever be afraid to make some noise, to get in some good trouble, some necessary trouble. And he was talking about peaceful protest. He was talking about getting involved and speaking out for those who don't have a big voice in our democracy. He was talking about people getting together and speaking out for equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all. We can keep making a better day for everyone. We don't have to settle for things the way they are. So I hope you all will get involved wherever you are and try to stand up for human rights. And there must be lights burning brighter somewhere. Got to be birds flying higher in a sky more blue. If I can dream of a better land where all my brothers walk hand in hand, tell me why, why can't my dream come true? Oh, why? And there must be peace and understanding somewhere. Strong winds of promise that blow away all the doubt and fear. If I can dream of a warmer sun where hope shines down on everyone, tell me why, why won't that sun appear? We're lost in a cloud with too much rain. We're trapped in a world that's troubled with pain. But as long as a man has the strength to dream, he can redeem his soul and fly. And deep in my heart, there's a trembling question. Still I am sure that the answer's gonna come somehow. Out there in the dark, there's a beckoning candle. And while I can think, while I can talk, think in peace, while I can smile, while I can walk, while I can dream, feeling my dream come true. Right now, peace and love, yes. Right now. My name is Wade Kelley. I'm running for Santa Monica City Council to stand up for human rights. Thank you, peace. Thank you. You want to say anything?